Hello, welcome to Zentangle Explore. I am so excited that you're here to try with me, either live or on the replay. This is a class where we are going to draw with a pen, the 01 micron, and some small pieces of paper really, really slowly. And we'll draw a Zentangle pattern. And first, we're going to start with a brief meditation to just center ourselves. And so you can get nice and comfortable in your seat. You can close your eyes if you like. I'm going to close mine. And just find your breath. Maybe you're inhaling. Maybe you're exhaling. Maybe you're noticing a little stop between the inhale and the exhale, between the exhale and the inhale. Whatever your breath is doing is just perfect. Just notice. Allow it to be. And perhaps begin to notice where else you can feel your breath in your body. Perhaps you can feel it in your belly, or your back, in your chest, in your throat, or just at the edge of your nostrils. Maybe you can sense your sensation of your clothing on your skin as you gently breathe. Inhale, little stop. Exhale, little stop. When you're ready, perhaps increase your inhale. Make it a little bigger. Perhaps inhale to the top of your head. Exhale to the bottom of your feet. Just allowing that breath to flow in whatever way feels perfect to you right now. And let's take one big inhale together. And a nice exhale. One more big inhale. And exhale. And one last inhale. And exhale. When you're ready, you can open your eyes, knowing that whatever we create together will be perfect just as it is. Okay, thank you for breathing with me. I'm going to change my camera and we will draw. All right, so I have a couple of small pieces of paper here, just that can fit in the palm of your hand. And that's so we can draw multiple things. And you just have a little bit of space to fill. I have a 01 micron. You can use any pen you would like. And we will begin. This is a pattern called Wood, W-E-D, by Joni Fedderson, who's a certified Zentangle teacher. And we're going to start out, I'm going to start off, well, I'm not going to start off my page. I'm going to start right in the middle. And so we're just going to draw a beautiful little serpentine line really slowly. So slowly. Nice slow line. Now you'll notice that this line has these hills and valleys. So this is an aura tangle. And so we're just going to, or I'm going to start on these bottom ones, these little hills. We're just going to aura nice and slowly. And aura just means to draw, to mimic what came before. There's a number of ways you can do this. You can do this way, or filling them in one at a time. And we're just filling just to the top of that hill. We're not going beyond. And when we finish, we'll come back to the beginning. Just so slowly. Putting an aura on each one of these little hills. Yours can look completely different than mine. This is an exploration class. So whatever you're drawing is absolutely perfect. When we're done with that side, we'll turn this over. And now we have hills again. And so the other way to do this, it's more organic when we fill them in one at a time. Well, you could also fill in one hill at a time before moving on to the next hill. Keeping your lines nice and slow. There's no rush. This class is all about exploration. So it's important to know if we're going to explore what it is that what the parameters are of what we're drawing. So we started with a lazy line, these hills and valleys. So a line that has some curves in it is how we begin. And I can go off the page. And then we aura. We're going to aura these shapes. So I've started out with evenly spaced bumps and hills and valleys, but they don't have to be. And I started out with hills that are rounded, but they don't have to be. And I've started out with a line that is the same thickness throughout, but it doesn't have to be. You can explore this pattern in whatever way you wish, and it doesn't have to look anything like mine. Perhaps you just like it this way with half. Perhaps you decide that you want to aura all of the hills. It's going to aura all of the hills. It would look like this. So if you have any what if questions in your mind, what if I did this? What if I did that? You have a pen and a piece of paper and your breath. Help you to answer that question really slowly. There's no wrong way to explore. So whatever it is that you're being called to try, it's absolutely perfect. I have to expand my hills and valleys just because that's my what if question. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I will find it pleasing or less pleasing, but it's something that I want to explore. And so I'm going to try and see what happens. Sometimes when I'm exploring an idea, I get really excited about it and I want to draw faster. To bring myself back to my breath, slow down my lines. And this is a pattern that doesn't have a lot of darkness to it. They're just simple lines or our lines. In Zentangle, say that pattern is most pleasing with equal amounts of black, white, and gray. Black being the ink, white being your tile with paper, and gray being shading. We're not doing any shading in this class, although you can after class or even during class. It's up to you. But we do have the black and the white. So if you would like to fill in certain portions or thicken lines, it is completely up to you. Also an avenue of exploration. And you can do that really slowly. You can start on a new piece of paper, a new section of your paper whenever you like. So even within these hills, you can make a hill wider, more widely spaced apart, or narrower, and it'll change the tangle completely. That's part of exploring. So my what if question, what if I thicken portions of this center line before I oar it? And I don't know what it will look like, but I'm going to find out. Drawing slowly is also a really wonderful time to tune into how you're holding your pen. Maybe you're gripping it fiercely. Maybe you're pressing really hard on the nib. You can just relax that hand. Send a little breath to your hand and to your pen. Saying time to relax. We're just drawing slow lines. Easy, soft lines. Don't require any pressure. Once you've drawn whatever it is that you're drawing, You can always go back in and add some black if you like. Or you could add some color. These patterns are perfect for adding color. Whatever and however you want to explore is absolutely perfect. If you have a little wiggle in your lines, it's also absolutely perfect. The goal isn't to draw straight lines or steady lines. The goal is to draw slow lines. And just embrace that little wiggle. If you were drawing straight, stable, beautiful, computer printed lines and you tried to put a wiggle in it, it wouldn't look very natural or organic. And perhaps you're drawing those lines all by yourself without even trying. Adds character to the lines, adds movement. Embrace those lines, however they're showing up. As we draw very slowly, attention to our breath. Inhale, a little stop. Exhale, a little stop. Repeating the process over and over. Allow your exploration to unfold right before your eyes, not knowing what the next line will bring, or what the ultimate outcome will be. Allowing that element of surprise to just be there, inviting in a little opportunity for delight, perhaps joy. Hmm. Slow lines are so fun to draw. Maybe I can only see portions of my pattern. Drawing partial patterns is a really wonderful way to understand what a pattern does. It allows the eye to fill in the rest of the pattern. My what if questions may not be your what if questions. I expect that they aren't. So I love about this class, especially teaching live, because I get to see what everybody else's, how they answered their what if questions. Say almost never what mine are. And that's so very, very fun. When we're drawing just a partial pattern, a pattern continues off the page. And so it's helpful to pretend that you're continuing to draw that pattern even when there's nowhere to place the ink. Just keep pretending really slowly. So what I love about this drawing method is that as I draw, when I first begin a pattern, I may think, oh, there is no possible way to change this pattern. And then as I keep drawing, a little question will pop into my head and says, well, what if I change this? Go. That hadn't occurred to me before.
And these don't have to be triangular hills. They could be rectangular hills. They could be square hills. They could be more rounded hills. We can play with spacing, which is what my next what if question is what if the spacing on the left-hand hill is wide on the aura, so we're still auraing, and narrow on the right-hand side? What will that look like? I'm going to find out really slowly. I suppose the question becomes, if I change the pattern dramatically, is it still the same pattern? I suppose that's for you to decide. I would say perhaps it's a variation of the original pattern. It doesn't really matter. What matters is, are you enjoying drawing it? Are you enjoying exploring it? And only you can answer that question. And there's no right or wrong answer. It's another thing I love about drawing this way. There are no right or wrong answers. There's no wrong way to explore it. There's no wrong or mistaken or accidental, or well, perhaps accidental, but no improper way to draw this. It's just your way, and your way can change in any moment. And what if question is, what if I connect these? What will happen? I don't know. Again, I have a pen, and I can draw slowly, and I can find out. Just allowing whatever it is that's unfolding before your eyes to do so without judgment, without expectation, releasing any of those expectations about drawing one way or another. This is an exploration. Doesn't actually matter what the outcome is. It's just lines on paper, practicing releasing expectations. An exploration or an experiment starts with a hypothesis, which is what had happened, what would happen if I did this. And then the scientist releases all expectations. They have an idea of, well, I think this might happen. I think that might happen. I don't really know. And if they keep that idea of expecting X, Y, or Z to happen, it doesn't happen, then they end up getting all thrown off in the process. But if they hold that hypothesis loosely, I wonder what would happen. Huh, this is not what I expected. Wow, that is super interesting. How is that going to lead my exploration for my next hypothesis? And that's when I find out really interesting things. I held on to that initial expectation and just gotten angry about the fact that it didn't work out the way they thought it would. They would have missed out on all of that extra information. Could have led them to somewhere really new and exciting. If there's any noises in my environment, there's some yard work going on next door, open windows. Just let it be there. Focus on your breath. Focus on the lines on the page. I always like to tell my students that there's no Zentangle police. No one's going to come and count your lines. Gosh, that hill has only 6 lines and the other one has 7. That hill has 3 lines and the other one has 5. It's all okay. All of it is okay. Allow your lines to be however they are. This feels like sewing with pen. Little zigzag shapes. Follow your pattern all the way through. Okay, here are my explorations. Yours may look very different from that, and that is okay. Thank you so much for drawing with me. I hope you enjoyed this pattern. If you would like to donate to this class, you can do so at paypal.me/eternalpossibility. And if you'd like to find out about more of my classes and perhaps come live, go to eternalpossibility.com. And both of those are linked down below. So I hope you keep drawing. And the idea is that you continue to draw this throughout the week in all kinds of different ways. Add color, add watercolor, do thick lines and thin lines. I hope that however you are creating, that you find joy in doing so. Thank you for drawing with me.